60 Minutes with Angela starts right now.
Well, it is his 6th year in office as the governor and chief executive of his state, a state created on the 3rd day of February 1976. Ogun State was carved out of the old Western state, but retained its capital in Abeokuta. With a landmass of 16,762 square kilometers. Well, hello and welcome to the program. I'm Angela Ajetumobi. He is the man they call the godfather of Egba politics and Ogun State. He's also a governor that they say has total control of his political party, the APC, and his state. IBIKUNLE AMOSUN is a former senator and now the governor of Ogun State. Well, congratulations on the successful African Drums Festival, which held in this state in April this year, 2017. Was that the first episode of that festival?
Well, thank you. It wasn't the first, it was the second, but in a different way. The first one was the Nigerian Drum Festival.
Right.
But this one, when we had the first one in 2016, we realized that our brothers from the continent, indeed, so many of the ambassadors, they were present there. And there and then, we were advised that since it has attracted such audience outside the shores of Nigeria, that would only be proper to now change the narration and just say, okay, we want to have it. It's going to be a continental affair.
Yes.
And that's why we now changed the 2017 one, which is now the maiden African Drum Festival.
Will it be a yearly event?
Oh, certainly yes, certainly yes.
Okay.
Indeed, I tell you what, indeed, after even this one,
yes,
we are now having several interests outside the shores of Nigeria,
yes,
that are now showing their readiness to even participate. Don't forget that in the one that we did, we had people from Trinidad and Tobago,
right,
Jamaica, and all of that. Now, the next year's own, as we speak, we have gotten several of these Caribbean nations that has shown interest to attend. So somehow we have started something that is called cultural revolution that is certainly set to take the space, as it were, from next year.
A permanent feature on your tourism calendar.
Certainly, yes. Not just on our tourism calendar,
yes,
indeed the national calendar, and indeed African calendar, and I think the world.
Right. And you said that Ogun State has attracted the largest foreign direct investment in Nigeria so far. What incentives do you offer to prospective investors to embrace a change by moving their businesses here to Ogun State?
It is not that I said. I mean, this was a statement of fact, not from me, from our end. This is what I call third-party confirmation. We never knew that the UK government, the DFID, and some of these development partners,
yes,
they came together and commissioned Pricewaterhouse to do this study for them. All of us were oblivious of this. We weren't told.
Yes.
It was when the result came out that they now realized that 75% of all the foreign direct investments that came to Nigeria was attracted to Ogun State.
Why do you think that was the situation? What is the factor?
Clearly, I will want to believe that we have created and we are still creating, we will
Yes.
continue to do that, enabling the environment for business to thrive. And what are those things? The enablers for development. One, security must be in place. Clearly, nobody will come to an unsecured or insecure environment. No.
Yes.
That is the first thing that must happen. The place must be secured. Then all the other form of infrastructure, either the road, the environment itself, the way we manage our waste, water, power, those are just all of those things that comes together to create an enabling environment for business to thrive. The ease of doing business.
Right.
Either though people will come, do you want land, you want to maybe establish a factory, we will tell you we have what we call a one-stop shop now.
Yes.
We will tell you what exactly do you want to do. We will advise you. We have now, I think in the last camps, it used to be 5,
Yes.
now 7, now 9 industrial hubs. So we will ask you what exactly do you want to do. Gone are those days where you will have maybe a pharmaceutical outfit being beside a ceramic industry. No,
Yes.
they cannot cohabit.
Okay.
So we are now having a planned development, sectoral planned development.
Right.
We ask you what do you want to do. There are people there that take the burden off you. You just get you the land. We give you different choices.
Yes.
That okay, which do you have a particular place in mind, a preference on where you want to be. But clearly I see that one thing that goes for us is one, we create this enabling environment. We make ease of doing business to be very smooth, very straightforward.
Yes.
Because either though we were rated 30, actually they said 36 out of 37, because they added Abuja to it.
Abuja. So
when
you
we
were
came
almost last.
It is, we were truly last. Just one, but the very last. And to the glory of God, within the first 2-3 years, of course, when they did the study again today, we were in the first maybe 5. Indeed, they had this very wonderful commendation for us. They actually singled us out to say, Ogun State that did so poorly.
Yes.
They've bounced back in a way that even for them, they cannot comprehend how we managed to do it. But we are not resting on our oars. So to us, the way to go, if we are going to get it right, it must be private sector driven. No government can do it alone. You
Yes.
just, all you need to do is to create that enabling environment for business to thrive. And once all of those are there, of course they will come. But one thing that works for us again is that after creating this, what I call conducive environment for business to thrive,
Yes.
the market is there. And we have that access to this market-wide audience.
Yes.
Ogun State on its own, we're about a little over 7 million now. Lagos, maybe about 20 billion. Then even some of these southwest states, Oyo is just our next not neighbor. Anybody that is in Ogun State here, clearly, of course, they will have Lagos market in
Yes.
their horizon. Again, Ogun State on its own, of course, is a market that is clearly on a daily basis. You will see that a lot of people is moving to Ogun State.
Yes.
The one that is maybe the icing on the cake is the West African sub-region, which on its own is as big as probably if not bigger than the Nigerian market.
And Ogun State is like a gateway to the
Not
West
like
Africa.
it is, aside from maybe when you want to over the river, which is the Seme. That Lagos has no other state. It is us. This is where the gateway is. All the land, and that's why we have, again, if you talk in terms of the land border,
Yes.
indeed I was shocked when the immigration controller came and said Ogun State have the highest number of all of this, they call it a legal border.
Yes.
We have the legal one in Idiroko and some other places. I mean, we have one in Ilara,
Yeah.
in Ohumbe, in Ipoke, several, all of these, our local government in Ogun, West Senatorial District.
Yes.
This, I mean, you will not even know when you are either in the Republic of Benin, in Ogun State,
or an
or
event
in
at
Ogun State.
Ogun
And
State.
one thing that is now, people are adding to it, because we just went for commissioning of one of this global brand, global company, and everybody knows Procter & Gamble.
Yes.
And the other one is Hayat Kimia. These are Turkish. Indeed, there's this competition held though between Procter & Gamble and Hayat Kimia. They are the largest, the biggest in Middle East, in Russia, indeed in Southern Asia. They're there. So now the Americans, I mean, they've captured all the of course, the market in their place
Yes.
in some part of Europe and now part of Africa. So as we speak, both of them, they are here in Ogun State. I think one has about maybe 40, the other one 60. They could see this healthy competition. They now told me where I'm going. They said they are using Ogun State as their hub, not just for Nigerian markets, not just for West African sub-region, but in Central Africa now. Clearly, it means that if you are in Ogun State, you can use Ogun State as your hub. I mean, to capture all the markets in Nigeria, in West African sub-region, and even indeed in Central Africa.
And your annual Investors Forum, a lot of people are saying it is somewhat successful. Do you have any statistics for us in terms of how many companies have actually relocated to the state?
It is every other year, but it's not yearly.
Yes.
So it's every 2 years, every other year. Now, when we came on board, I will just use maybe 2 or 3 parameters or points to just drive it in that, yes, the success can be measured in several other areas, but I will just use 1 or 2.
Yes.
The first one that I would readily want to use for you is when we came to Ogun State was ranked really 29th position in IGR that states generates.
Yes.
We were 29. Indeed, when compared to even what the federal government gives to us. Today, between that time and now, with this our Investors Forum, with the way we are running our government, with the way we are creating an enabling environment for business to thrive,
Yes.
to the glory of God today, we are second only to Lagos. Imagine if from 29th, we have moved to second in a space of how many years?
Yes.
Clearly, it means we are getting some things right.
Yes.
That is 1. 2, between that time and now, we now have, I think in the last scan, maybe I will ask them, maybe about 120, 121 now, companies that have invested in excess of $200 million. Mind you, companies that have invested maybe 50 million, 20, $10 million, $100 million, even maybe $190 million, we are not counting them.
Yes.
We are counting those that have invested in excess of $2 million. Indeed, some invested in excess of even $2 billion. So we have now counted companies that have invested between $200 million and over maybe $2 billion.
Yes.
We have at least 121 of those companies now, because every day we do it. Indeed, just some few days ago, the Vice President was in Ogun State to
yes.
commission another line in the Procter & Gamble factory.
Yes.
In any case, outside oil, Ogun State is the state where we have the biggest United States of American investment outside oil and gas.
What investment is that?
All these hygiene products, they do it. I mean, all those homemade things, they do it. I will give you Oral-B, sanitary wear. That's what they do. Pampers. Indeed, all the Pampers in Nigeria today,
Yes.
all are being manufactured in Ogun State. It's either maybe Procter & Gamble, Hayat Kimia, those that controls the market.
Yes.
They are in Ogun State. It is from here that you see all of those, always, all of those are from Ogun State. All these different form of toothpaste
Yes.
that you see, all of them are being manufactured from Ogun State now. So those are the kind of things that we are saying. So clearly, it's showing that, oh yes, we are walking our talk, and a lot of confidence is being, people have confidence in what we are doing. We are building confidence around, people are coming, people are identifying with us.
Yes.
Here, nobody wants to touch Ogun State with the longest of poles, but now they are at home with us.
You are
They
the
want to come to
beautiful
us.
bride.
Yes. And all of these development partners, all of them now, they're in Ogun State. You see the World Bank theme?
Yeah.
They're all here with us. As we speak, GIZ, they have presence in Ogun State permanently. They've been with us now. I think this is the 5th year.
Yes.
So clearly, this our Investors Forum is adding value to what we are doing. And the numbers are confirming that. Indeed, let me even say this, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility and with all humbleness. If you ask the Federal Office of Statistics,
Yes.
they were asking that we are outperforming all, even the national rates and average. Because whereas if they say, oh, the development that they are having nationally is maybe 5%, they will see that maybe Ogun State alone is about 11%. So clearly, I've told you about our IGR.
Yes.
In terms of even the quantum leap that we are having, indeed we came first, even ahead of Lagos.
Yes.
Because not only that we doubled, it was about 120 something, 1,000 something percent. We doubled what we did previous year, and probably we added even some about another 20% to it. So at every month now, what we collect from the federal government, which people refer to as probably handouts from the federal.
Yes.
Ogun State now, on our own, by way of our IGR, we generate about between 71-72%. So all that we rely on from federal government now is about partly 28%. I think it's only Lagos that generates about 80-something%, and they collect the balance of maybe 12 or 14% from the federal government. So whichever way you look at it,
Yes.
it clearly shows that we are doing well, we are walking our talk. In Nigeria today, Ogun State is one of those few states that are paying their salary as and when due. We are not, and I'm saying this, camera is here, I am not owing our workers' salary.
Not even 1 month.
Not 1 month, no. We are not even owing our pensioners. We pay our pensioners as and when due. But those areas where we are owing, it's contribution pension scheme, gratuity, and a bit of deduction, which again, to the glory of God, if we have cleared, we pay our salaries as and when due, we pay our pensioners as and when due. The pension is something that it is on a monthly basis. It keeps our retirees going.
Yes.
But gratuity is such that you need to wait. It's a lump sum.
Yes.
That they believe that, okay, after your retirement, whereas they are giving you Monday something to keep you going, you don't want to give you some big money so that maybe you can establish something and know that, oh, this is after you have served, then you can do this. Those areas, yes, we still have some challenges. But truly, when we came into office, if we have about 5 years backlog, and we have cleared those, as we speak, we have pushed to maybe March 2015 now. So if anybody is going to say we have backlog, we are talking about backlog of about almost 2 years.
Yes.
And clearly, what the law, what they do, even in our neighboring states, even in the UK, because I'm on camera, when you retire, you wait at least 1 year, they process your paper before you can even say you want to collect your gratuity.
Yes.
But here, maybe people don't know, maybe because of what we do. People are retiring today. The following month, they are bringing their claim for gratuity. No, it doesn't work like that. And that is why every month we must pay their pension.
So that they keep going.
That is everyday money. This other one is like a capital investment that you have to plan. So clearly you must wait for 2 years before you submit your paper, and maybe within 1 year of submission of your paper, then they will process and pay you.
Yes.
So if you are looking at least 2.5, 3 years, then we have not done badly even with the gratuity.
Join us again after the break.
Nice question.
Angela, that's a great question.
It's a good question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
That is a serious question. Angela, that is a very great question. Great question, Angela.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Angela, that's a tough one for me.
That's a good question. Good question.
60 Minutes with Angela. Again, answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, it's 60 Minutes with me, Angela Ajetumobi. On my hot seat today, the Governor and Chief Executive of Ogun State, Senator IBIKUNLE AMOSUN. We move on to education. In March this year, 2017, you upgraded the state-owned Moshood Abiola Polytechnic to a University of Science and Technology. Why did you do this?
Number one, this is the home of education. At least it's incontestable. Everybody agreed that Ogun State, this is the home of education. Indeed, not only that we are the industrial capital of Nigeria, we are the education capital of Nigeria as we speak today, to the glory of God. Don't forget that even in those days, who started education, free education and what have you, it was from this Ogun State. Ably pioneered by Babafemi Awolowo of blessed memory and his lieutenants. But we now realize that because of what we are doing, because of where we envision that Ogun State will be, God is answering our prayers. We now have the highest number of industries in Ogun State. So clearly, that's an advantage for us. But if you have this advantage and you are not taking full advantage of it, then you have yourself to blame. So what we realize is that, yes, we have opportunities, jobs are there, abound, but we don't have employable candidates or youths or graduates. Not that our schools are not good, they are good.
Yes.
But we are now saying that, wait a minute, let us even begin to create something that will now make us use more of our skill. Yes, before now, the arts, the social sciences, they're there.
Yes.
But we realize that we need now to go into technical sciences, skills, development.
Yes.
And that's why we now said, okay, let us now upgrade this to a University of Science and Technology. That is even where the world is moving into. And we don't want to be left behind. But let me just say this. The most important that anybody can do for either people, the state, or even the nation, in fact, the most important gift, the most prized gift is education.
Yes.
And that's why for me, even in our 5 cardinal programs, in our quest to rebuild our state, which we tag mission to rebuild Ogun State, education comes stops. Because I believe that a well-educated people are easily governed. They will easily be able to key into whatever ideas you have. They will be in sync with your ideas. Yes. And that's why education is key for us. And that's why we just realized that, wait a minute, yes, we have all these opportunities. We have schools that are very good. But we want to go, a bit further and ask ourselves that, so what are those things that we truly do not have and we think we should have?
Yes.
And that's why we are going into that area. We are now talking to our companies. Don't run around again. Do what we call backward integration, import substitution. Make sure that all your material, even if not all, significant percentage of your material are being sourced locally. While we are doing that on one hand, we are equally saying to them that, wait a minute, even all this, let's people sit down with you. Go to our University of Science and Tech. Let them sit down with you. What do you need? What are the researches that they will tell you, okay, let's do this for you.
Yes.
They will understudy what you are doing and come up with solutions that will resolve, that will increase maybe your turnover and by extension your profit.
Yes.
So those are the things we are trying to do. We don't want to end up with graduates that will not be even either useful to themselves, not to talk of, attracting good jobs. We have the jobs now in Ogun State.
Yes.
And that is why we don't want just to be, we are only good maybe in social sciences, we are only good in arts. We want to be good all round.
Yes.
And that's why we are doing what we are doing.
And the re-establishment of Ogun State Poly, which will be now in the Pokia Yewa,
yes. The idea is we want to spread the thing throughout the length and breadth of Ogun State.
Right.
I'm a product of the same institution now known as Moshood Abiola Polytechnic.
That's where you attended?
Yes, it was called Ogun State Poly then. We were the pioneer students.
Yes.
And look at us today, we thank God for his mercies. Yes, when we finished, as a chartered accountant, I went to the UK. I did my master's in international finance. But of course, the foundation was well laid from here. So what we are saying is just like what I said to you, that yes, we have been good in all the other facets. Let us bring in the issue of technical training, vocational training, sciences, applied technology, and all of those. Let us now, it doesn't get any better if you are able to adhere strictly to world best practices.
Yes.
And that's what we are trying to do. So in the Ogun West, of course, the polytechnic that is running here will now be shifted to the place where we will now have a University of Science and Technology here in IBIKUNLE. In fact, both are multi-campus. If you look at OOU now, it is multi-campus. That is Olabisi Onabanjo University.
Yes.
Multi-campus. They have a campus in Ayetoro. That is the Agri campus. They have what they call, I think, in Ogun. They have a campus there. It's far-flung like that.
Yes.
The idea is they want all the 3 territorial districts to benefit. Even this University of Science and Tech that we are doing, again, it's going to be multi-campus. And we will have maybe a campus that will be devoted to just pure sciences. This one pure, maybe technology. This one pure something else. So that's what we are trying to do. And I think very soon, this will be an institution where they will be having referrals. Everybody will know that, they will benchmark even what I call tertiary institutions because we are Ogun State.
One of your 5-point agenda is infrastructure development. I want to take you now to Ado Odo-Ota local government area and Igbere Road of Ota. The residents in those communities complaining about the state of the roads. They say that trucks belonging to Ogun State Waste Management Board have damaged the road. And now with the rains, it is even worse for them. What is your government going to do about that road?
You know, I said something that for development to happen, empirical researches, this, that, reports upon reports, have confirmed that for any development, meaningful development to happen, infrastructures must be in place.
Yes.
Yes, I know where you are talking about. Even today we discuss, even as we speak. Indeed, while you are even with me,
yes,
the Commissioner for Works and Permanent Secretary for Works, we are discussing the Ota Road now. Particularly, we are even talking about this Songo Lagos Old Abeokuta Lagos Road.
Yes.
That is impassable. These are federal road, but no problems. I mean, we should collaborate, we should complement one another. And that's why I told them that, okay, don't worry, let's see what we are doing. That axis where you are talking about, we have our dump site not too far away from the place. Somehow, because every day, the turnaround, you know, there are a lot of people now, that's more of our border area with Lagos. The population there is ballooning every day. Good for us. The only thing is we should just find a way to make sure that we bring everybody into the tax net. Because what we realize is that, yes, a lot of people are there, but they still pay their taxes to Lagos. And they are putting pressure on our infrastructures. So what we need to do there is to now do a concrete road. You know, when you carry all these weights,
yes,
it comes with this, their chemicals and what have you. Yes. So that every day the thing drops there. Indeed, it is such that they can have about 10 of those trucks there parked. They are waiting to go in there. No access, particularly now that it's raining.
Yes.
So even the asphalted road that is there has given way. It failed. So what we now said to ourselves is this: because of the nature of the kind of refuse that they take there every day, we need to now have a concrete road.
That's
as
using
a permanent,
concrete and
yes,
cement.
Yes, on the road, because if it is this asphalt,
yes,
by the time the thing drops there, of course, it spoils those roads. If I say big thing, it's a massive intervention that we are going to do. Until when that is done, we're still going to be having this crisis.
Yes.
But the same water that they are talking about, they've seen what we did. Either you cannot, even as governor when I came, you cannot pass through Iluawela Road. No, nobody. But today, to the glory of God, the entire Ota Township Road has been fixed. I know where you are saying, yes, more of outskirts when we are going, and that's where, indeed, let me even say this. People are now building very close to that dump site, which again is hazardous to them. So we are even getting our Ministry of Health, the Environment Ministry, and the MUPP, that is Ministry of Urban and Physical Planning,
yes,
to see what we can do. Either to close that dump site, even today we discussed it right in the ESCO there, either to close that dump site and look for an alternative place.
Yes.
So that once that is done, even the one that we are saying we want to do, the road concrete will not be necessary. So which means ordinary asphalted road we do.
Yes.
Because those are the challenges that we have now. But you cannot just go and create a dump site where people are already living. But what we need to tell our people, and that's why we said MU people should follow us, who gave those people within that axis, who gave them the approval to build what they have done there. Because everywhere is almost built up, which again is not even good for their own health. It's not. You don't be there every day. If you see the organic whatever, what is oozing out every day from that dump site, people should not even be there. Yes, should not even be, maybe even almost 500 meters, nobody should be there. But lo and behold, you see people there even maybe 20 meters, 30 meters.
Yes.
They've built there without approval, I suppose. And that's why we said MUPP is a task force of some sort. MUPP, environment, they should go there to see what is happening. Why are we having that with health? So that even with works and infrastructure, all of them go there as a team and see what can we do.
Yes.
Can we have another place to relocate the dump site? Or if we are keeping that dump site, then we need to think and see, are we going to relocate those that are just within the corridors of maybe 100 meters to the place,
yes,
at least as a starting point.
All right. And the Ogun State Light Rail Project Has the state paid its counterpart funding? Where are you now with that project?
We have told the people that are giving us the fund, in fact, two sources. One is this, the one that everybody knows about, the Chinese. There's another source. Now, what we've done is this. They've told us that the federal government is bringing 15%. We told them we can only do 10%. And we told them immediately that we have our 10%, they should start. So that once we've demonstrated that, yes, we meant well, they said 15 actually. And we appeal to them that we are state, we are not federal.
Yes.
That we should be allowed to pay even less than 10. After going forward and back, they agree on the 10%. And what we did was to get our own 10% ready. What we did was to now arrange with some banks locally to say that, no, we cannot pay maybe that percentage that you will be telling us to do. But what we want you to do is this. We have this fund in place.
Yes.
Now, once they ask us to pay, fortunately, they're not going to finish in one year.
Yes.
No. That the one we are giving them is 50%. You, this bank, keep for us. Whatever it generates, keep it too. When we need to make payment to them, you will help us. You are not bringing down even the 50% at a go.
Yes.
Let's do our 50%. When they now call for the next cash call, we now say, okay, no problems. If you don't have the money, give us maybe another 10% of it. But those one in China, they've just released the one for federal government now. Indeed, ours is ready, but they need approval. Federal government has already approved that they will borrow some states. We are one of those 3 states or so. Now is now going back to National Assembly. Indeed, as we speak, the coastal one is in the National Assembly now. The one for the 3 states, I think 3 or maybe 4 now, yes. Because I understand one state joined again. Those 4 states, Ogun is one of those 4 states. They are now taking it back to the National Assembly. National Assembly, once we get their approval, which I want to believe that because of the extent to which we have gone,
yes,
they know that we are dead serious, we are ready. Indeed, we have even said that they should take our own and begin the work, what we set aside for them. But they are saying that once they take that, China government doesn't operate like that.
Yes.
They will want every approval to be given. And they will tell us, domicile, we have this account.
Yes.
That's your own, put it in that account. If you give 50%, they will give you 50%. If you give 100%, they will give you 100%. But it doesn't make any financial sense,
yes,
to put down 100% when you know clearly from the onset that even if you are able to put everything down, it will take maybe 2 years, it will take 3 years, it will maybe 4 years to finish. So the aspect that we are putting down the 50%,
yes,
they've told me that if they work the way we wanted, in 2 years, at least they will have taken it. Not that it will be finished to Lagos, no.
Yes.
What we are doing was to rush to take it to interchange in the first instance. And from interchange, they will take it to Baga. That's what we were planning. But because of this time constraint that we are having now, we even have to push for them to take it to maybe Shion. But it will be irreversible.
Yes.
Whoever is here after us, we know. It's just like, look at what is happening in Lagos. Now, people don't know the totality of what they are trying to do in Lagos. I think it's just about maybe 7 kilometers or so. And look at where they are. Whereas our own here, even straight road from here to interchange, I think it's about 40
kilometers.
Yes. The beauty of our own is this. We're on solid ground. We are not in the river or where they need to pile to do this, to do that.
Yes.
It is grace of God. We are Ogun State. We are on solid ground with the work, the quantum of work that they will need to do. Not that they will not work. They will do like deck on pile, straight pile in there. Maybe the pile they will do in Lagos, maybe 30 meters. Inside the
water,
river.
yes.
So it's different. So we are even far ahead of them in terms of readiness. If the Chinese government has been ready. It's waiting for Nigerian government that we should do the necessary approvals, necessary procedures must be followed.
Yes.
So they've now approved the Lagos-Kano one now. That is what they've released money for. Federal government have now paid their counterpart funding. Indeed, as we speak, the other one is still in the Senate for them to approve. China is ready, their own money is ready, but they want us to do our bit. Once they clear the coastal one, the next one is for the 4 states. So once it is cleared now, that's what is keeping us. We have taken our alignment, we've done everything, we have even secured the route, so we are ready to fly.
Join us again after the break. So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's a conversation between two people making the news, people who are in the news, and those who become the news. And the whole idea is to inform, to educate, or to clarify, as the case may be. It is an art getting people to answer the questions that everyone is thinking in their minds. And that's what we try to do on 60 Minutes with Angela. I ask all the questions that everyone's thinking about and no one wants to voice. All the questions you always wanted to ask, you get those answers on 60 Minutes with Angela. Every week on this station, 60 Minutes with Angela, getting answers to every question you always wanted to ask. Welcome back. My concluding moments now with the Governor and Chief Executive of Ogun State, Senator IBIKUNLE AMOSUN. Are you still interested in building an airport in Ogun State? Abeokuta is just an hour from Lagos State. Is it viable to build an airport in Ogun State at this time?
Indeed, as we speak now, it is not about maybe viability. It is a necessity. The viability of it is proven already. You know, when you asked me the other time about maybe the benefit of this, our investors forum,
yes,
and the benefit of this creating this ambience for people to come and businesses to come and thrive, I can tell you that more than as we speak today, if you need to count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yes,
at least more than 50. I do not want to even tell you that all the about 120 companies that we talked about,
yes,
on a weekly basis. I know of a company that on a weekly basis, they will go and be queuing in Lagos for their products to be taken to be exported to where they sell them. Clearly, because of our road is not that good, even the one that they take to Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, like that, of course, they airlift them. Not that they wait to say they are taking it on road. Indeed, let me even share this secret with you. We have the largest ceramic manufacturer in the world now with us in Ogun State. One thing I pick hold, and I go and I'm happy they are doing it now.
Yes.
What they do here, they put them in pallets. They take it to Europe to go and sell. Yes.
The ceramics they make here.
Yes, yes. They take it to part of Europe because they believe that it's cheaper to make here.
Yes.
And they take it there. My quarrel is this. When you are making it there, please put made in Ogun State. Indeed, on Friday, it was like that. When I got to where Procter & Gamble, I saw what they were doing. I said, please, I have to see made in Ogun State there. Indeed, when we went to Ayat Kimia, again, the same thing everybody does. The two where we went, they put made in Lagos. And I said, this is unfair. This is where you are manufacturing the thing. Why will you put made in Lagos? You know what they said was that when they were registering their company, their registrar office was in Lagos.
Yes.
So it's a shame. And I asked them that, no, this is unfair to Ogun State. You put pressure on all our infrastructures. When those your companies, when they load all these goods that you do, they damage all the road because of the heavy nature of what you carry.
Yes.
All of them. Either the one in cement, this, that, all of them. They pass through our roads. By the time they get to Lagos, it's about 1 point something. You just use Lagos Ibadan Expressway, for instance.
Yeah.
Lagos is about 1.2. Ogun State alone is 6.4. It's already that it's 12 point something. Lagos Ibadan. If you take even the Shagamu Bini, about 60 something, it lies within the corridor of Ogun State. Between Shagamu and when you are getting to Ore, after J4, after Ogun Waterside. So clearly, this is what we are saying. That if people now sit somewhere and say, why are you having the airport is so near? No. It's even be in the interest of government to have an airport within whatever radius to even Lagos. You know, when there's a problem in Lagos, where do they go? They'll be over. In fact, sometimes they go back to say they are landing in Republic of Benin or wherever, or even it has happened to go Ghana.
Yes.
But if Ogun State is there, and people don't know, I'm sure they know this, even when the technology was not this advanced, in Dallas, within a radius of about 5 miles, they have more than maybe 3 airports. If you get to even London here, within that same corridor there, they have the one in City, they have Stansted, they have Luton, they have Gatwick, they have Heathrow, just within the corridor of, there's not even like Lagos and Abeokuta.
Yes.
So clearly there's need for it. All of these our companies that are here in Ogun State, Instead of them running every day to Lagos to go and queue for the ship to airlift some of these products that they finished.
Yes.
Even the one going to some places in maybe far north, some of them realize that for you to go and queue, our rail is not good, and that's why we need to give credit to what President Muhammad Buhari is doing. It's not the first administration now. People have conceptualized it that did they do it? The answer is no. Now the thing is being done. Lagos Ibadan Expressway, you pass through the place. People have been governors before him. Yes, they said they want to do it. They didn't do it. The place is being done now. I was there. In fact, I was probably the only governor that went there when President Jonathan came to say they want to flag it off and it will be done within before they go.
Yeah.
I was there because it wasn't about politics. It's about the fact that 86% of that road lies within the corridor of Ogun State. So I care less about who does it.
Yeah.
I just want it done. I went there. Lo and behold, what happened? The road wasn't done. Now look at it now. The road as we speak now is now about maybe 60% completion now stage.
Yes.
So clearly you could see now that that's the airport that they are saying whether we want to do or not, we will do it. We have even started. And I have good news for our people. You know this airport that we are talking about
Yes.
has been there during the World War, First World War, Second World War.
You actually have a site.
Yes, there. In fact, that is where they now have the army barracks, the new one. And that is where till today they have this Commonwealth grave. It's an airstrip like that then. When soldiers are wounded and the dead, they will flew them there with chopper. Then, you know, all this propeller, whatever.
Yes.
It wasn't something that big. But that was where they were using. As we speak today, it's still there, that Commonwealth grave. In fact, they say come to maintain it. So that airport is there. But I was in the Senate, I left Senate in 2007.
Yes.
Just when I was leaving, we were running around to make sure that we draw the attention of the federal government to the fact that this airport has been there, though it was airstrip. From 2008, we started this lobby, and I have to say this openly now.
Yes.
So they started giving money for that airport, budgeting for that airport since 2009, 2010, 2011. When I came, I saw that, wait a minute, they've been budgeting money for this, so where is the money? So I wrote to President Jonathan then, and I said, no, this was not correct. They must do this, they must do that. We realized that some money was released. What they did was to now did perimeter fence of the place. They said they have done all the feasibility report, the design, the everything. Fine. If you have done design, why did you move to site if you said you've been given money? But all they did, in fairness to them, they did perimeter fencing. Yes. They said they've done the design. Why not? No problems. We were not even waiting for them again. And we said, okay, we will jumpstart this, we will do. Don't forget that there's one that the state was doing, which my predecessor conceptualized, that he said it will be finished in 2006. But again, I don't know, he will be in a position to speak to this.
Yes.
Nothing was done, this place is still there. It is not that we want to abandon that one, but we just clearly realize that we are state. We probably will not have the wherewithal to quickly go there when we have the opportunity of one that has been there in the 40s.
Yes.
And it's federal government owned. So let us put pressure on federal government, appeal to them that they should not abandon this. Those ones that came after, several years after, they're up and running now. Why will you just run away from the one that you haven't spent some money? So we thank God now that you will notice in this year's budget, you know that it was there.
Yes.
They've given us money now, and we pray that once the budget is signed, of course, money will be released. But what we have done as a state is to now ask them, let us now dust all this design that you say you did. So we have put people together. They have now repackaged it. That is what we've done. So we are now waiting. Once our contract, everybody is ready. We don't have anything to hide. We've written. We make a strong representation to the federal government so that they can see that we are not making this up. And we want to thank them. We want to thank Mr. President. We want to thank the Senate. We want to thank everybody. At least they've answered our call. So IBIKUNLE Airport has come to stay. They've given us money now. And once the budget is passed, I'm sure the need will be done. They will release some money so that contractor can move to site straight.
Thank you very much, Governor IBIKUNLE AMOSUN, for speaking with me today.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. I'm Angela Ajitumobi.